Everybody, this is Dr. Flight. Hope you're doing great today. This is week 11 of our technically 16-week term. Anyways, I just hope you're doing great. And I wanted to introduce this week's topic to you. So, in chapter 9 of the text, we're looking at maintaining and creating competitive advantages, and it's really the idea of when the market is made. Once you are established and you're in the market, you'll have a bunch of competition. And what we want to think about is how firms compete with each other and the bases in which they find themselves able to compete, gain market share, grow sales, and things like that. So traditionally, there are three kind of philosophies, or three perspectives is what I term, that companies use. They'll use a cost basis where they look to manage very, very closely their internal costs to gain a competitive advantage over their rivals that way. They'll use a differentiation strategy where they introduce new products, new levels of performance in the features of their products, and they'll compete that way. And then finally, the third way is through advantages that they gain by planning and executing marketing strategy efficiently. So those are kind of the three perspectives, and that's what we talk about a lot this week. And then we also talk about elements that deal with attacking your opponents, different, I guess, approach strategies to try to get market share or gain a competitive advantage relative to the leaders or the followers, depending on who you are in the marketplace and who you're trying to position yourself towards. So it's really, this is a deep, heavy strategy week, and again, it's thinking about how do you gain an advantage over your competitors and sustain that market share and that position once you hold it. Is basically what the nexus of the whole chapter is all about. So with that, there are a number of different topics that are outlined again in the text, but also available here that we look at. Again, different forms or perspectives of competition is something we look at. Offensive and defensive strategies, being offensive or defensive, and then the types of strategies that we take if you're a follower or a leader vary a little bit between those two types of things. That's kind of where it is. The text also goes into a little bit more detail on harvesting and divesting, which is good. Some things to be able to think about, like read the chapter. Obviously, I know you're working hard on that. There's a couple examples here. Fiat had entered the U.S. market years ago, many years ago, but then left and then came back again, and now is probably leaving again. And they've had this yo-yo association with trying to break into the U.S. market. We can think about kind of them as a follower, and what strategies they might engage in with their product line and kind of what they do and their brand value. They've suffered brand impairment in the years past. In the early days, their brand was not known for high quality, and that hurt them quite a bit. They left again. They came back with the minis and the different things that, or not the minis, but the other cars the small cars that they have, and have again struggled to kind of form their own place and really be effective in the U.S. market. So a couple articles talk about them and can be used in context of this week's material. Another article deals with some new technology, the shapeshifter technology, which I would encourage you, if you read this to read this article and think about the leapfrog strategy that's used as one of the strategies that's described in the video to to use a technology to gain an advantage to push the product category that you're in beyond where it is now, creating a whole new space for you. It's like making a market, but through technology. And this type of technology has the ability to do that type of thing. So it's really a new product innovation kind of article, if you will, but it's really the application of the technology that will allow companies to leapfrog their competitors into new market spaces. Obtaining an SCA, that's a book chapter. It's fairly short, very readable, very interesting, by Acker again. I've used this a number of times as a supplemental text, so I just pulled a chapter out of that that talks about, again, the various nuances of holding and maintaining strategic competitive advantages. And there are a number of elements there that I think tie into the chapter very nicely. So again, that's a good support type of a piece. And then there are a couple other supplemental readings that are available if you are interested, again, in pursuing this. So the differentiation strategy and the differentiation of anything, those are two different articles. And then there's a journal piece, the framework of diagnosing competitive superiority. Again, those are a little bit denser, a little bit deeper, but they push you into the material a little bit more. Those would be for folks who really want to know more about this topic and want to kind of get into this a little deeper. Then those are there for you. The application this week, again, is another interesting one, I think, with a brand we're familiar with Hellmann's Mayonnaise. And Hellmann's Mayonnaise is a company that holds a lot of market share in their product category, of course. They feel threatened of this attack by a new upcomer, which would be a follower. In fact, this is like a new product innovation where the new company and their brand name is Just Mayo, is creating a mayonnaise-like product that's soy-based as opposed to egg-based. So it's a different composition ingredient-wise. And Hellmann's argument is, well, you can't call yourself mayonnaise or mayo because the definition of mayo or mayonnaise must include eggs as the component. So your product you're calling mayo really is not appropriate, and therefore you shouldn't be allowed to do it. And long story short, that they feel probably some competitive pressure from this new product, and the reflection asks you to dig deeper into what strategies each company is using to attack the other, basically. Kind of what are they doing? There are a number of different strategies revealed in the videos that you'll want to watch to be able to answer that question. So I think it's, again, an interesting application of some of the theory that we learn and some of the kind of ideas and concepts that we have in class applied to real life. You can see real life play out of two firms competing with each other, one with a lot of market share, one with virtually no market share, and how they're each trying to gain competitive advantages over the other. So again, I hope that should be interesting. I think you'll find that a good read and a good application for what we're doing. Briefly, I'll also just kind of pull up the Moodle space, creating sustainable competitive advantages. I'm going to move this up here just so you'll see it. There are two videos, and I always include the PowerPoints if you wanted to have the hard copy PowerPoints of those, but we have a couple of videos. They're both longer. They both approach 50 minutes or so. So they're longer, but they're lecture style things that go along with the text and additional material that's not in the text that I like to add. And again, we also have the readings that are all available here. If you go to the reflection like you guys have done, the forum, discussion forum area, you'll see the Hellmann's ad or article that's in there. and that would just be under the area that's labeled weekly reflection discussion. So again, just to recap, hoping everything is going well for you. Again, this is, I think, kind of an exciting topic. It's very starts out very theory based, and again, this is competitive analysis. So it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is vitally important if you want to succeed, especially in a competitive market. You have leaders who have a lot of market share and you want to try to break into their market share, or if you're a leader and you want to protect your market share and your position in the marketplace, then this is an instructive chapter and bit of material for solving those problems that you might have. So hope you're having a great week again. I'll touch base again soon, and again, hope everything is going well for you. Just a quick reminder, next week is a group week. So starting next week, week 12 is our third phase of the project. So be looking for a video on that, and otherwise have a great week. Thanks.